Now, SMU's campus covers over 200 acres in one of the most prestigious parts of Dallas. Now, there is lots to see on campus, but the can't-miss stop out here, the George W. Bush Presidential Library and Museum. In this building sit the archives, papers, and museum of the 43rd President of the United States of America. This is amazing. You know what's so different about this presidential library for me? Is that I lived through all these events. I remember these events. You know, it's not like, those are the stories your parents told you. This was me. And I might have been his best intern, but you'll have to ask him on that one. George W. was raised in Midland, Texas, as the oldest child of George H.W. Bush. As an entrepreneur, he became part owner of the Texas Rangers, then Texas governor, then president. But within 9 months of taking the oath, President Bush had to lead our country through the worst attack ever on U.S. soil, September 11th. This is so sobering. So this is steel from the World Trade Center. I definitely remember where I was the day the towers fell. That was a very hard day. And I remember the voice of the president coming on.
I can hear you. I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knocked these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
It was a day that would define his presidency and set the stage for the next 8 years as the U.S. fought the global war on terror. Oh wow, look at this. So it's the pistol Saddam Hussein had on him when he was found in that foxhole. This museum is full of amazing displays and interactive exhibits, taking visitors through a timeline of Bush's presidency. And if you ever thought it was easy to be president, step inside Decision Points. You're put in the seat of President Bush to face some of the hardest decisions he made throughout his presidency.
How hard could it be, right?
You want extra queso on your enchilada platter? The answer is yes. That's an easy one.
I think it was harder than that.
Well, we'll see. I mean, Hurricane Katrina. This is a tough one. The theater gives you insight from experts and citizens, and let me tell you, things aren't as black and white as they seemed.
We need help now.
We need help. They need help. They don't know what to do, Daniel. I'm listening to my trusted advisors. I don't know, Daniel. I don't know.
You're just pushing buttons. Come on, Chet. You want to be president. This is your chance.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah, I definitely don't envy the president's position. But his office, on the other hand... Whoa! Look at this. It's a replica, an exact replica of the Oval Office, which means this right here is my chair. Listen, I've been meaning to have a little meeting with you. I like your show and all, but it's a little bit too Daytrippery. You know what I mean? I've got no Bush impersonation. It just feels right. Just feels right. Maybe I could do this. Nah. The library is full of moments and memories of the president and first lady, including the lighter side. But in January of 2009, the presidency ended and the Bushes returned to being normal U.S. citizens. But that doesn't mean the work ended. And if you end your tour inside the museum, well, you'll miss a very important part of the center, a 15-acre native Texas prairie and the enduring passion of former First Lady Laura Bush. Well, first off, let me say it is an honor to have you join us on our day trip to Dallas.
Well, thank you for coming here to the Bush Center.
Oh, it's incredible. I think too few people get to see what you've done outside, back here.
That's right. I wanted the grounds to be native. SMU had given us this property on the campus, and we needed to fit in with their Georgian architecture. But of course, we didn't want to be Georgian. I guess we were. George W.
I like that one. What was your hope? That people would come out here?
Yeah, that people would come here. They would see things they could do in their own yards that do well here. These trees that are all trees that are native to this part of Texas. A few are from our tree farm. We developed the grass with the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center, and it's a mixture of 5 Texas native grasses, a couple of grandmas, curly mesquite, poverty dropseed, buffalo.
After returning home from the White House, Mrs. Bush founded Texan by Nature, a nonprofit that encourages the conservation of all of our state's natural resources, even if that means letting these wild grasses get a little long.
We do have a neighbor who lives in the apartment buildings over here across the street and looks down, and he'll call the president of SMU and say, when are you going to mow? Because it does get tall.
Oh, well, you know, you've got to let a prairie do what a prairie does.
Exactly.
From dark skies to butterflies, Mrs. Bush educates the public on how to steward our lands and keep Texas thriving for both people and nature. What do you hope people who visit take away when they leave?
One thing is, of course, the history of, and that's what the museum shows.
Yeah.
Where we're getting ready to open George's new paintings.
So your husband is now an artist?
He became an artist. It was a shock. He never even looked at art.
Really? He's actually a really great one too, often painting native plants and animals. Another reason to visit the Bush Center. So thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Thank
I
you
appreciate
for your time, your service to our country, and just the legacy you're continuing.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
With all the Bush family has done and continues to do, their legacy stands tall in Texas. Like really tall. If you liked this video, chances are you're going to love another video that's somewhere right about here. Or you can visit thedaytripper.com. But above all, what I want you to do most, remember the Alamo. I'll see all y'all out on the road. Vaya con Dios, amigos.